I'd like to call our special board meeting to order. Let the record reflect it's Tuesday, July 2nd, 2019 at 7:30 PM. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Trika, could you take a roll call, please?
Trustee Berg.
Here.
Trustee Brady.
Here.
Trustee Brennan.
Here.
Trustee Galante.
Here.
Trustee Glatz.
Present.
Trustee Mueller.
Here.
President Vandenberg.
Item number 1, I'd like to ask for a motion to consider approval of the agenda.
Second. So moved.
Second. The second?
Second.
Thanks. Properly moved, properly seconded. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 2, I'd like to ask for a motion to consider approval of the minutes of the regular village board meeting held on June 18th, 2019. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. Properly moved and properly seconded. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 3, I'd like to ask for a motion to consider appointing the following individuals to the Marketing, Sister Cities, Planning, and Economic Commercial Commissions for the 2020 fiscal year.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Properly moved and seconded. The following Marketing, Sister Cities, and Plan Commission appointments are being made for the 2020 fiscal year. The new commission members are in bold. I'm going to read them all individually for the ones that decided to come. Marketing and Branding, we have the chairman, Daniel Fitzgerald, Beth McKernan, Jackie Bobbitt, Julie Decker, Dennis Suglich, Stephanie Przinski, Bernie Greenewalt, Jim Green, Kelly Oswald, Paul Yadwowski, Associate Courtney Rourke, Associate Nick Markowitz, Associate Jason Freeland. And then we received a letter today, the manager did, that Jim Fuentes is withdrawing from the Marketing and Branding. Sister Cities, we have Chairman Patrick Ray is back. Lucas Holly, Jim Mueller, Marilyn Bill, Roxanne Tyson, Joanne Dykausen, George Rohde, Kurt Fiedler. Plan Commission, Chairman Garrett Gray, Lucas Engel, Eduardo Manny, Tim Stanton, Angela Gatto, Marianne Atkinson, Stephen Vick, Jim Gaskell. Economic Commercial, Chairman Jay Walsh, Dennis Reedy, Dino Sanfilippo, Richard Osti, Christine Abigi, Paul Spass, Frank Williams, Brian Potter, Chris Shoemaker, and David Spadale. Any board members care to comment?
I think Fiedler's on Sister City,
Yeah.
not on Sister City.
You
Yeah,
mentioned,
he's supposed-
you mentioned him on Sister Cities,
Yep,
and he's supposed to be on plan. He's supposed to be on plan.
And also, I think on the marketing and branding, did you forget Nick at the very bottom?
At the very bottom is Jason Freeland.
Oh, I
No,
have
Nick Haliopoulos is on there.
Nick Haliopoulos is on mine.
Unless they printed another one from Friday. Yep, there's another one. It's Halikius. Is this a different one? Nick Halikius, Associate for Marketing and Branding.
Mr. Chairman, if I could. Just, so this is an omnibus vote for the trustees tonight, so if there are, similar to your consent agenda, one vote would be for this list and the the corrections that you've noted. If there are any that you'd like to talk about individually, similar to your consent agenda, I believe you asked the chairman to take them off, and you can handle those individually. If there are none, one vote for all these commissions.
I would still like to comment.
You so can.
Two things, actually, and that is the chairman, the former chairman of Sister Cities, has been with the Sister City Commission for 4 or 5 years. He's been the chairman for the past 2 years, and on that commission for the last 3 years. And I just wanted to applaud him for his youthful exuberance and taking that commission to where it is today, and all that he has done. I've met some of the people from Sister City, and I've known some people from Second City too. All right. And I just wanted to thank him for that, and at the same breath, thank Mr. Patrick Ray for stepping up once again, that when your city asks you to step up, he does. And I just want to say thank you and welcome back, Pat. That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to personally thank all the volunteers that decided to join this year. We have a lot of new faces. I think it's going to make a big difference. If anyone that's here today that would like to speak, please step up. I'm hoping Mr. Ray will step up and give us a little history on Sister Cities, if you wouldn't mind.
Oh, boy, you're new.
Have at it.
Does he get 6 minutes?
He doesn't get a clock.
Oh, okay.
No. You might want to keep bells ringing. First of all, thank you very much. I'm happy to be back. And my first assignment in this village came in 1967, when I was appointed to a commission. And off and on for the past 52 years, I've been sort of sitting in the dust, hoping to be helpful and sometimes in that way carry on, because all of us are proud of our town. What's the history of the Sister City? It really came out of the relationship of the military with Boudingan from World War II. It's a very rich history. There was, there still is a concern there. Some of us were stationed at that concern, but more than just me. And many of us, and now they're passed away, many of us thought the way we were welcomed by the town, that maybe we should do something about it, and we did. And we established a sister city there. And by the way, the largest exchange in American sister city history, number of people, people to people, was a Tinley Park effort. And over 300 Tinley Parkers went to Boudingan and came back. Now, where do we go from here? First of all, the comments about the immediate past chair, his enthusiasm will not be forgotten. And as a matter of fact, I know that there's people in Boudingan that truly appreciate what he's had to do. And so in the very near future, he and I are going to contact Boudingan together. And as much as he wants to do, I will involve him in doing it, and if he has new ideas. But let me leave you with this thought. Sister City was more than Boudingan. It was Mallow, Ireland. It was Nowy Sącz, Poland. Both those are sister cities of this community too. And we haven't seen much from that. And I'm going to have to ask the board, it's no more money. I mean, in government today, I have a new idea, and you'll go broke. But at any rate, we'll reach out to those two communities. We've had contacts from Canada, and many people have thought that Canada would be appropriate for two reasons. First of all, it's our closest neighbor, and second of all, it's easy to visit the sister city. And there's a lot to be said for that. So I will seek guidance from all the trustees, the mayor and the board, and the wonderful professional staff on how far we want to go with this. We will not seek any additional funding. And I can just thank you for the opportunity to serve the village again.
Thanks, Mr. Ray.
Thank you.
Would anyone else like to speak? No? Sharika, could you call the roll?
Trustee Byrd.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 4, trustee Brennan.
Thank you, trustee Glatz. I'd like to make a motion to consider the appointment of Jesse Green to the position of senior custodian.
We have a second?
Second.
Properly moved and seconded.
Brady. Mr. Brady?
Go
In
ahead,
or-
Bill.
In order to provide sufficient oversight and supervision of in-house, after-hour custodial staff, the village board approved the position of senior custodian in the fiscal year 20 budget. Recruitment brought forth 155 applicants for the position. After review and shortlisting, 8 candidates were interviewed, and 4 were invited for second interviews. An interview panel consisting of members of Public Works and Human Resources determined that Jesse Green is the most qualified applicant for the village. Jesse earned an associate's degree from Robert Morris University and has over 10 years of customer service and supervisory experience. He recently served as team lead, floor tech at St. James Hospital, materials management coordinator, supervisor at Northwestern Memorial Hospital, and as customer service representative at EOS American Water. Consider the appointment of Jesse Green to the position of senior custodian effective July 3rd, 2019.
Thank you, Bill. Any board members care to comment? Trika, could you call the roll?
Trustee Byrd.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Sorry. Go ahead. Would you like to speak? Sorry. Sure? You have 10 minutes.
I just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity. It's been great meeting everyone. The process was a process, but it was good. It was everybody kept in great communication with me, and you know I appreciate the opportunity. And I'm looking forward to doing what I have to do. So thank you.
Congratulations.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Congratulations, Jesse.
Item 5, trustee Mueller.
I move we consider adopting Resolution 2019-R-066, authorizing an amendment to a professional service agreement with GovTemps USA for provisioning of a planning manager.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Thanks,
Thank
Bill.
you.
Go ahead, Mike.
It is recommended that the village renew the professional services agreement with GovTemps that expires August 31st, 2019, to fill the position of planning manager in our community development department. At the June 4th, 2019 Village Board meeting, Kimberly Clark was promoted to Community Development Director, and Paula was moved to the position of Planning Manager at approximately 32 hours per week. This contract renews Paula's services as Planning Manager September 1st, 2019 through August 31st, 2020, at a rate of pay of $77.49 per hour. This change is consistent with the strategic roadmap as laid out by the Community Development Department. In addition, this agreement was passed unanimously at the June 24th, 2019 Special Community Development Committee. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thanks, Mike. Anyone have any comments? No? Trika, could you call the roll, please?
Trustee Byrd.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 6, I'd like to ask for a motion for consider approval of the following consent agenda items.
So moved.
So moved, I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Properly moved and seconded. Trika, could you read these, please?
Consider approval of the following consent agenda items. A, consider request for a block party permit on Saturday, August 17, 2019, between 9024 and 9138 Kingsdale Drive from noon to 10 p.m. B, consider request for a block party permit on Saturday, August 10th, 2019, between 8304 and 17646 Lilac Lane from noon to 10 p.m. C, consider request for a block party permit on Saturday, August 10th, 2019, in the 8100 block of Valley View Court from noon to 10 p.m. D, consider request for a block party on Saturday, July 27th, 2019, on 64th Court between 17706 and 17825 from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. E, consider payment of outstanding bills in the amount of $641,564 as listed on the vendor board approval reports dated June 21st and June 28th, 2019.
Thank you, Trika. Would any board members care to remove any of these items from the consent agenda? No? Trika, could you call the roll, please?
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 7, Trustee Mueller.
I move we consider adopting ordinance 2019-0-035, approving text amendments to Section 2 definitions and VB, Schedule of Regulations of the zoning ordinance for short-term rental regulations.
We have a-
Second.
Thank you. Properly moved and seconded. Go ahead.
Thanks,
Mike.
Bill. In response to a nuisance and safety complaints regarding existing short-term rentals, staff drafted text amendments to the zoning ordinances to regulate their use as an accessory use to owner-occupied residential dwelling units. The proposed amendment includes a definition and provides a 500-foot minimum distance between short-term rentals within residential districts. The draft regulations were discussed and reviewed by the Plan Commission at a public hearing on March 7, 2019. The Commission voted 9-0 to recommend approval of the text amendments. This ordinance is eligible for adoption. Sorry about that, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. Any board member care to comment? No? Trika, could you call the roll, please?
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Item number 8, Trustee Brennan.
I'd like to make a motion to consider adopting ordinance 2019-0-036, approving text amendments to Title 11, Business Regulations, and creating a new Chapter 129J entitled Short-Term Rental of the Village of Tinley Park Code of Ordinance for Short-Term Rental Regulations.
Second.
Thanks, Bill. Go ahead.
In response to nuisance and safety complaints regarding existing short-term rentals, staff drafted text amendments to the Municipal Code of Ordinances to require short-term rentals to be licensed on an annual basis with the village. The proposed amendment includes the following requirements. Short-term rental properties are limited to owner-occupied units, annual license fee of $50, an on-site safety inspection by staff prior to issuance of a license. A short-term rental cannot be licensed and operated if the applicant has outstanding village debt or violations, and fines and revocation language for violations. The draft regulations were approved by the Community Development Committee on January 8th, 2019, and the Public Safety Committee on June 11th, 2019. This ordinance is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, Bill. Good job on the Roman numerals. Anyone from the board care to comment? No. Trika, could you take the roll, please?
Trustee
roll.
Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 9, Trustee Mueller.
Thank you, Mr. Glatz. I move we consider adopting ordinance 2019-0-037, granting a variation from Section 3.J fence regulations of the zoning ordinance to permit 4-foot-tall open design fence to extend 25 feet into the required secondary front yard where a fence encroachment is not permitted at 17500 Cloverview Drive in the R3 Single Family Residential Zoning District.
We have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Bill. Go ahead, Mike.
Thanks, Bill. The Petitioners Mark and Kristen Davis, located at 17500 Cloverview Drive, are seeking a 25-foot fence variation from Section 3.j on the zoning ordinance to permit a 4-foot tall privacy fence to extend up to 25 feet into the required secondary front yard. The petitioner has requested the variation due to their block's development pattern and due to a better visual appearance of fencing their secondary front yard, which follows an established fence line of rear yard fences to the west. The Zoning Board of Appeals held a public hearing on June 13, 2019, and voted 6-0 to recommend approval of the requested variation in accordance with the plans as listed in the list of reviewed plans in the June 13, 2019 staff report. This ordinance is eligible for adoption.
Thanks, Mike. Anyone from the board care to comment? Sharika, could you call the roll, please?
Trustee Burke,
Yes.
Trustee Brady,
Yes.
Trustee Brennan,
Yes.
Trustee Galante,
Yes.
Trustee Glatz,
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 10, Trustee Mueller again.
I move we consider adopting Resolution 2019-R-067, recommending a Cook County Class 7 reclassification for Advis, Inc., located at 17200 Oak Park Avenue, Cook County, Illinois.
Do we have a second?
Second?
Thank you. Go ahead, Mike.
This resolution provides support for Cook County Class 7A incentive, which reduces the tax assessment ratio for the property at 17200 Oak Park Avenue from 25% to 10% for a period of 10 years, 15% for the 11th year, and 25% for the 12th year. The property is located in Bremen Township, a Cook County designated area. This project meets the goals and objectives established in the Economic Incentive Policy as set forth by the Economic and Commercial Commission and the Village Board of Trustees. The Economic and Commercial Commission reviewed this proposal at their June 10, 2019 meeting. Subsequently, the Community Development Committee recommended approval of this proposed economic development incentive at their June 25, 2019 meeting. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thanks, Mike. Anyone care to comment from the board? No. Sharika, could you call the roll, please?
Trustee Burke,
Yes.
Trustee Brady,
Yes.
Trustee Brennan,
Yes.
Trustee Galante,
Yes.
Trustee Glatz,
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 11, receive comments from staff.
Thank you, Trustee Glatz. I just have one follow-up to a recent comment that was made at a board meeting where there was questions about how often staff denies or recommends denial of an incentive or development project. So we did review the files, and we were able to identify 28 projects in the last few years that either did not meet our zoning, license, or incentive policies, and we recommended denial. So that's all.
Thanks, Dave. Go ahead, John.
Thank you, sir. I also would like to follow up from a comment at the last board meeting regarding our current PMP and curb replacement program. There's a resident that approached the podium stating replacing the curb one block at a time would be much cheaper than our current process of evaluating and replacing sections at a time. I'm not sure exactly where the resident received his information from, but after discussing with our engineers and the contractor, they assured me that our current process is the most fiscally responsible available.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, John.
Donna, do you have anything?
We had a good cruise night again tonight, so.
Good.
And there, successful Music in the Plaza last Saturday evening. First one of the season, because the Mother Nature hasn't necessarily been our friend this season so far, but next one is scheduled for a week from Saturday.
Great, thanks. Anyone else? Nope. Receive comments from the board.
Mike, I was
Yeah.
just gonna mention a
Go
couple
ahead,
things.
it's all yours.
Just wanted to say what Donna just had mentioned about the music in the park. It was really great. I'm always impressed with the events that you guys are putting on, and it was a really great job. The band was great. I really enjoyed them. And then I just wanted to mention to the chief, we had a Chief Reader, we had a block party this past weekend, and fire truck had come out to, do their thing at the block party, and I just wanted to say thank you. I mean, everyone on that truck had really done a great job. Kids were really asking tons of questions. They really went above and beyond, and I really appreciated it. Parents, everybody was really impressed with the whole thing. So just want to say thank you for that.
Thanks, Diane. Anyone else?
Yes, I have two comments, actually. One, I'd like to invite everybody out on July 4th, Independence Day holiday, to the Park District's activities, fireworks. I don't know, Chief, are you running? Because I'll be running in that race, 8 o'clock in the morning for the 5K, huh? No.
Need me to meet you halfway, Bill, and pick you up?
No, I'll be there too, Bill.
Okay.
We're gonna go at it together.
Fine. Just wait for me till I get there, will you, please? That's number one. And number two, I'd like to make a motion, something strange at this time, but I'd like to make a motion to publicly congratulate Bill Brennan, new father of his fourth child. And just want to say thank you very much. You know, my name is William Patrick, and he named his son Patrick William, and I'm sticking to that. Thank you.
It was all after you, my man.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Bill. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Anybody else? You want to speak now, Bill?
No, thank you, Bill, and thank you to all of our new commission members. So thanks for your service, and thanks for stepping up for your village. And thanks to my wife, Lindsay.
Yeah, you better, you might be watching this, okay?
Can't miss that one. And again, I just want to thank all the commissioners. Pat Ray, you being here means a lot. Jim Green, you threw your hat in. Bernie's just here. He's not on a commission. Mr. Gaskell, Mr. Greenewalt, and Mr. Williams, thank you. I appreciate it. And if I missed anyone, I apologize. But item 13, receive comments from the public.
I would like to, hello, my name is George Rohde. I would like to preface this by just saying that I am the messenger. So, as a fact of the change in the commissions and, of course, who is presiding over as chairman for several of the commissions, I think it's extremely important that before a decision is made, we take a look at the comments from the different individuals involved. And so I have an email that I hope that all of the trustees have seen from our Sister Cities Commission. If you have not seen it, I would like to read it because it does sound quite alarming in terms of the individuals that are across the pond. So they feel that it's very alarming. It's that you know that we are always very interested in everything that happens in Tinley Park. Now that we have received disturbing news regarding the Sister Cities Commission, we are here in Boot again. We do not want to remain silent because our partnership and friendship with so many people in Tinley Park is too important to us. Therefore, we ask you to pass on our opinion to the trustee and the mayor and make it clear that this matter has alarmed us deeply. And I'm not saying in any way that I think the assignment of Pat Ray is a bad decision by any means, but I think before any decision is formally made, I think we need to consider the individuals involved, and we need to take a look at the opinions of the individuals that are directly involved currently, in hopes that we can make a better understanding for how we work together on the commission. And so I feel that it would be not in our advantage if perhaps the other side of the pond does not feel so strongly about the change as perhaps some of the individuals on our commission itself, and perhaps all of the work that we've done will put us backwards. And so I'm hoping that the board will consider not just putting a name to the face, but rather to look at the individuals that are behind this commission, as well as of all the other commissions, and to really understand how people feel, and to take that into account, that you're dealing with people that have opinions on both sides, and that whether you want to make a decision is fine, but the diplomatic way of handling it, first and foremost, is to get to the root of the people and how they feel.
Thank you.
Excuse me, could you share that with the board? Because I have not seen anything from the sister cities.
They, so I can.
I mean, could you email it?
I'll email it to you.
Thank
So,
And then-
but I just, like I said, it came in importance, priority high, so I think it's extremely important that we revisit that and take a look. before we make any informative decision. And so we don't have all the facts yet, so of how they feel, so.
Disturbing news, did something happen in the Sister Cities Commission?
I think just the change of leadership, I'm not quite sure. They go on, and you can read the emails I send it. I mean, they go on about how the past chairman and another member have visited Boudagain, that the increase of what they have done on the Sister Cities Commission, and their efforts have gone, they seem like they have gone unnoticed on both ends of the pond. So I don't know if it's a discrepancy between the individuals, but I would, of course, like to make sure that all parties are accounted for before a decision is made.
Okay, I personally would like to say, that was my recommendation for Pat Ray to be on that board and chairman. That man probably knows more about Sister Cities, Tinley Park, than anyone in this town. So if there's, if someone has an issue with it, that wasn't the appointment of, the mayor made the appointment, but that was from my recommendation, so that will come back on me.
And by all
Just-
means.
Just so you know, just for full transparency, I couldn't have asked the mayor to put a better person, more qualified, more knowledge, and done more for this town than Mr. Ray.
And
So,
I am in no
just so you know.
position, and I am in no position to tell you that you did wrong or doing by any means, and that's not why I'm saying. I'm just saying that since we have received an email from across the pond, I think it's very important for transparency that you see this as well.
Sure, thank you.
Okay?
I'd like to echo trustee Brady's comments earlier, and George just said now. I find it very peculiar that someone who ran Sister Cities as well as he did, and clearly has very high praise from our friends across the pond in Germany, why this change was made. I mean, was Lucas doing a bad job? Why did you take his chairmanship away? I'm curious. Was there like some kind of complaint from them? Was there some kind of complaint internally? Does this typically happen?
It was a recommendation, Mike, and the mayor obviously agreed with the change. And I think back in 17, I think that's how Lucas got that position in the first place, when I think they got rid of people from the commissions and appointed people. So-
Sister Cities had
And he's
people
still on
gotten
the
rid of
commission, and
back
if
in
you-
2017?
And if
People
you,
were
if
getting.
you heard Mr. Ray speak, Mike,
I have
think
nothing
he said
against
that
Pat
they were
Ray.
going-
I've
no.
spoken with Pat Ray.
They
Hey,
said
this
that
is public
they were
comment. I'm
going
talking.
to work hand in hand. You're attacking the appointment of a man that does more for this town.
I'm not
than
attacking the
anyone here.
appointment.
You
I'm
are,
I'm
Mike.
speaking of, it's peculiar that a person's chairmanship was taken away, okay, when it seems like he was doing an excellent job. Now, that's not to say that Pat Ray won't do a great job. I've spoken with Pat Ray on many occasions. We spoke for over an hour and a half one time about things from public comment to Sister Cities to everything. This isn't about Pat Ray. I'm curious that someone who worked as hard as he did on Sister Cities, who I don't think did anything wrong, had his chairmanship taken away.
No one said he
That-
did anything wrong. He's
Okay,
still,
well,
he's still on
I
the
was just,
commission.
then, I'm asking then, so basically this is just, not that Lucas did anything wrong, you just think Pat Ray does it better, that's fine. I just think it's very peculiar that the opinions of the people that on the other side of the pond weren't even taken into consideration before making this decision. That's all I'm gonna say.
I made a recommendation. At the end of the day, it's not my appointment.
But at the end of the day, you have the majority of the board. So, if you don't tell your people to vote for it, then it doesn't happen. So basically, it is your appointment. You're the de facto mayor at this point. So please.
Everyone voted Mike for the commissions that are on here, but that's all I'll say on it.
Okay, fine.
Thanks. Would anyone else like to address the board?
Good evening, distinguished members of the board, and also you, Mr. Glatz, who look much more comfortable in your new chair.
only
And thank
it's
you
only for
for
a
the
meeting.
information on the vet, from the vet walk.
You're welcome.
That's appreciated. Now, in the infamous words pronounced at so many of these meetings, this is not question and answer time. So unless you hear the words, this is an actual question, please note that these rhetorical questions are merely part of my public comment. Now I gotta skip over to the Mayor Vandenberg part because he's absent. Bummer. I'd like it noted that there are a number of village residents who take offense to the use of village resources and taxpayer funding to promote and glamorize the self-promotional efforts to feed the ego monster of one private citizen. Rocks. A rock is a naturally occurring solid mass or aggregate of minerals or mineraloid matter. A rock is no more kind than a hammer, a block of wood, or a hand grenade. We as a community should be appalled at ourselves for letting someone pervert a child activity, such as painting, into a glamorized method for self-promotion. Paint a rock, hide a rock, post a rock on my Facebook page. Let me hear from you how kind I am for doing this. Don't you all love the Emperor's new clothes? So shiny, so bright, so kind. Excuse me, isn't he naked? Many of our local establishments donate to the village events and distribute for free many things for the amusement and benefit of our community, but the board would simply say that this is self-promotion or business promotion. I see no difference between her actions and those of local businesses.
Excuse me, sir, this is a village
This-
board
this-
meeting?
And
This
this
you're
is village
making-
business, sir.
You're missing personal
It is,
attacks.
this is village business because it is
You're
here
making personal attacks.
inside
Please
the
refrain
fiscal
from doing
report,
so.
the annual report. So this is village business, and I, as a taxpayer and village resident, do not appreciate the self-promotional efforts to glamorize one person's ego monster. It's not just a personal attack.
Points well taken.
So instead of feeding the individual citizen's ego monster, would the village board please direct the party in charge of assembling the village fiscal report to stick to village business? Now to the Commerce Committee, I am unclear as to rules for vendors and how they are supposed to behave and interact with the public during events, but an incident report has been distributed to many members of the Committee of the Whole this morning. And a summary from the public is a complaint is being made against one of the vendors who obviously in premeditated and rehearsed manner seized upon an opportunity to publicly expose and humiliate a 10-year-old boy for his inappropriate internet behavior by announcing to all those within a good 20-foot-plus area, hey, this is the boy that swears. Mission accomplished. The boy quickly departed from the area. And this was at Discover Tinley event. And experiencing emotional distress. After sitting with family and other convention attendees, the boy spoke about the incident, regained his composure, and wanted to ask the vendor why they were being such a bully. As he approached the booth, we heard a loud, shrill whistle, and the vendor was pointing vigorously at the boy. Seeing two adult males charging towards him that the vendor called over scared the boy. Malicious, deliberate, obviously premeditated actions by this vendor to intimidate, harass, and cause emotional distress to a minor, a 10-year-old boy. This vendor is obviously throwing rocks, trying to stone someone, and is not sharing kindness. Was this an actual security threat? No. Security was called, and then why was there no interaction with the adults of the party? I do not believe this vendor exhibits, holds, or promotes what I would say are traditional Tinley Park community values. I know the vendor was given their booth for free because of connections, and I would like the committee to take into consideration the image portrayed of the village when we endorse questionable behavior by our public event vendors. And then on another public event note, I would like to know what, if any, accommodations are made or taken into consideration for any of our event vendors who might have special medical needs. According to Illinois compiled statutes, Public Health, number 410, Illinois compiled statutes 130/Compassionate Use of Medical Cannabis Pilot Program Act, Section 30, Limitations and Penalties. This act does not permit any person to engage in using cannabis in a school bus and school grounds, correctional facilities, a moving vehicle, residence use for child or social service care, in a public place, or knowingly in close proximity to anyone under the age of 18 years of age. And public place as used in the subsection means any place where an individual could reasonably be expected to be observed by others. Public place includes all parts of buildings owned in whole or in part or leased by the state or local unit of government. And smoking medical cannabis is prohibited in any public place where an individual could reasonably be expected to be observed by others. in a healthcare facility, or any other place where smoking is prohibited under the Smoke-Free Illinois Act. Now, this is a public safety concern, as even with only medical usage currently allowed, during the past Oktoberfest event, when many families with children were attending and enjoying the festivities, I do recall smelling in the air the scent of someone using pot nearby.
Sir, I'll stop. I'd be careful about making allegations like that. I mean,
No,
I'm
would-
just giving you a warning.
Yeah.
That's a serious allegation you're making.
But I was wondering why anyone, I thought it strange anyone would have the gall to light up in public with so many young children around. I would like to suggest to the committee of the whole that the discussions possibly start regarding ways to make our community events family safe and cannabis free. Thank you very much.
Thank you. One more time.
Much better.
Would anyone else like to address the board?
I just want to congratulate Pat Ray. This guy is Tinley Park through and through. I've known his name for, I'll show my age, probably like 50 years now or so. During the inauguration for the new board, Pat spoke about the history of Tinley Park. And in my humble opinion, Pat Ray in his own right is part of history of Tinley Park. This man has dedicated so many years of his life to public service, and I congratulate him for being appointed for the new chairman of Sister Cities.
Would anyone else like to address the board? Let the record reflect there are none. Item number 14, may I have a motion to move into executive session for the following reasons? A, litigation when an action against affecting or on behalf of the particular public body has been filed and is pending before a court or administrative tribunal, or when the public body finds that an action is probable or imminent, in which case the basis for the finding shall be recorded and entered into the minutes of the closed meeting. B, the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal, or specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee of the public body or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity. The purchase or lease, or C, the purchase or lease of real property for the use of the public body, including meetings held for the purpose of discussing whether a particular parcel should be acquired. And D, the setting of a price for sale or lease of property owned by the public body.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Properly moved in second. We will, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None, motion carries. We will be in closed session and nothing to follow. Thank you.
Happy 4th.